All right, we're back again. Happy New Year to everybody. We're going to jump right into it. Here's what we're covering in the show today. We are covering teams that already clinched the playoffs, teams that have been eliminated, playoff scenario still alive, big week 18 matchup with real stakes, injuries, and rest updates that change everything. Vegas line and games we like, and predictions heading into the postseason. Let's jump into it. So I'm gonna jump into today, basically with the playoffs, last games of the season of the regular season, going into the off season. But I think what we need to jump into is a lot of the off season action that is going to be happening, and from what we've been seeing and hearing throughout the media. One, I want to get into Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. From what we're hearing and reading and seeing, Mike Tomlin might take a year or two off from the sidelines and go into coach go into TV, which would be a different approach. Which I had the Steelers actually looking totally different without Mike Tomlin being there. That Mike Tomlin's style of coaching that he does, that Mike Tomlin's style of his culture that he has brought to the Steelers and everything, that'd be something totally different and something that would definitely be missed with Mike Tomlin being there, not being there. But him being on TV, it'd be very interesting because we would like to hear his insights and see how he see the game from a different perspective, from not being on the sidelines but actually being there, watching it from TV, or being an analyst and calling it, or just being in the studio talking about it, analyzing it, and just picking certain, I guess, teams apart. And because we know that's Mike Tomlin. The other major news that's coming out is we looking, seeing that Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders, and we know Joe Witt won't return as the D coordinator for Washington, but you might see a different offensive coordinator there from what has been read and what has been said and everything. How would that affect what Jaden did his rookie year and this year as well? Um, I think it definitely, it won't be different. It'll be kind of the same because of them having, I'm gonna say, them still having the right coordinators there that is um been part of the offense for a while. And to me, losing, if we do lose Cliff Kingsbury, offense will probably look different. They'll probably look more like a run heavier offense, or it'll probably look like Philly's offense, where Philly is kind of confused on what they're doing. You know, Philly had last week, they jumped ahead. They put 23 up in the first half, and then the second half they got shut out, which is the reason why Buffalo came back like Buffalo did. Buffalo should have won that game, but the pass that Josh Allen threw to a wide open receiver, he misplaced the ball. So, but Philly been doing that all year, and I don't see Philly changing that style. What I do see is if Philly don't change that style, that the Eagles will be a quick one and done team. And I think with Philly being a quick one and done team, that is going to affect a lot of people. Um, and what they're and basically what they are hoping is a third. Super Bowl run for the Eagles. I don't think so. I don't have it happening at all. Um, so like I said, we're going to be talking a lot of playoffs, but we're also going to be talking a lot of off season during the playoff times. We do got a slew of games Sunday, but we also got two that I want to jump into today, which is Carolina and Tampa, and San Fran against Seattle. It's going to be big because if Carolina wins, then Carolina will win the division. And that'd be strange seeing Carolina from what they was last year to what they are this year, and the way that everybody was talking about Bryce Young and how they thought Bryce Young was a bust and how they thought the head coach Dave Canales wasn't that guy. But if you seen what they're doing now at 8-8 with a chance to have a winning season with 9 wins, playing a Tampa Bay team that's 7-9, 4:30 today is going to be, something to watch. Do I think Tampa? Think Tampa has a chance, but they're going to need some help. And then with Atlanta playing New Orleans, and if Atlanta beats New Orleans, Atlanta be 8-9, and they will knock Tampa out. So Tampa needs help. Carolina really doesn't need help, which they're in that win-win situation no matter what. The other game that's huge, which is the Saturday night game at 8 p.m., is Seattle and the 49ers. Now, this is not just for the division. This is for the number one seed. This is for basically teams in the NFC or the AFC trying to jump on and basically getting themselves in position to be that number one seed. My co-host is on here, William Young. Say
Hey,
what's up to
Lord.
everybody here.
Everybody, how y'all doing?
We're waiting for our guests to come on. They are running a little bit behind, but I'm gonna basically get into what I've been doing. Is basically we're going over the playoffs because the regular season. We're going over the regular season right now. This is the last week of the regular season. So from here on out, this is hey playoff football that we're going to be talking about and that we're going to be doing. Um,
Did you get my picks?
yeah, I got your picks and everything. But I also want to get in and get your feelings behind what I talked about with I started earlier on Mike Tomlin maybe leaving the Steelers and going to do TV for probably a year or two. What you think about that? Being a Ravens fan.
Let's take being a Ravens fan out of it. That'd be a good reset. You know, take some time away. Um, Not have the pressures of running the team. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a good look. I mean, even if Harbaugh can do it as well. Either one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so it really doesn't make a difference. That'd be a good way to reset and look at the game from a different perspective and learning players and learn how they move because you're not in the mix of how things are, how they were.
Right,
And so when they go back into coaching, it will give them a fresh perspective on how the players are nowadays,
right.
and they'll learn how to adapt even better.
Well, yeah, to me, it's how they adapt even better and how their coaching will be. I think their coaching will be much better too. Also, I'm seeing reports. We already know Joe Witt ain't coming back as a defensive coordinator of Washington, but
Really,
right, yeah, he's not coming back as defensive coordinator. They're actually looking for a new D coordinator right now. So look for Brian Flores or somebody that might jump into that thing if
yeah.
he doesn't get a head coaching spot. But the other thing is Cliff Kingsbury. and they saying whether he gets a head coaching job or not, Washington may move on from Kingsbury as well. Um,
because the play calling got too. I, I mean, I'm not a Washington fan, but I am a Daniels fan. I just didn't care for the play calling.
right, and I think a lot of people feel like you feel. I think the play calling was a little bit predictable. Um, he wasn't disguising. He wasn't disguising a lot of stuff like he should. So I think a lot of it. Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I agree. I think
I,
if they go ahead,
I ain't gonna say the play calling was predictable. I think I'm not one of a lot of trickery. If you're
right,
gonna call a play, let the players execute the play. All that trickery just doesn't work.
right, right, and I'm one of them where I'm like this.
You know what? Oh, bad shit, I don't know.
I'm one of them. I'm like this.
Mhm.
We're in a good predicament no matter how you look at it because they still got, Bobby Johnson there. He can call the offense, but you have a quarterback now that you can say, hey, can we put him in the pocket? Can we keep him out of the pocket? Everything. So it's going to be interesting seeing the offseason moves that Washington is going to do, um, given the fact that, like I said, they may be losing not just their offensive coordinator, but they know the defensive side of the ball. They're basically done. Um,
I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's a D coordinator that needs to go. I think it's an overhaul of the defense and getting like Bobby Wagner. He got his time to go. He's
I
lost five. He lost 5 steps.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, and I agree with the fact that they definitely needs to get besides getting younger on defense. I think they got to get also faster, but they
Yeah.
also got to get smarter too because you got to look at your back end, your safeties. You got to look at your corners. You got to look at your linebackers. You got to look at your defensive line. It's a lot that you got to look at on that side of the ball. Your offensive side of the ball is something that you have to look at too, and that is, you know, them being the offensive side of the ball. You got to look at is this: are you going to bring your receiver core back and don't let what happened happen before? So that's the thing that I'm looking at is this: are you going to have your receiving core that you have come back and don't make the same mistake that you made before with the receiving core. Don't do what basically don't do basically don't make the same mistake that you made last time when you got rid of basically your core of your receivers. And I think if they go into the offseason doing that, they'll be fine. Um and like I said, it's then you got to look at these other teams out here that is basically going to be going through the same thing.
You know, a change that you really, really hear about
What's that?
that needs to be heard about.
What's that?
That's the strength and conditioning coaches because the players are getting hurt at an alarming rate. And what type of training are they getting from the strength and conditioning coaches?
I agree. I agree
Because
totally.
a good strength and it's funny. Let's talk about this. Um, To Moss, Fitzgerald, and what other top receivers that was early 2000s?
Oh, you talking to Steve Smith,
Steve
senior?
Smith. And you,
Um, Anquan Bolden. It's been a bunch of them.
Right. So you rarely heard about them getting hurt. They haven't got hurt.
Right.
The only reason why Bolden got hurt because he got his face busted open. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't hear about T.O. getting hurt unless it was an Achilles.
Right.
You ain't hear about Randy getting hurt, you know.
Right.
Every injury that happened was on the back nine of their career. But in the midst of their careers, they didn't get hurt like that. They built different, you know.
Right.
The strength and conditioning coaches were different, you
Right.
know. So that's where I think you need to hear more about the strength and conditioning coaches. Are they are they are they working these players out the correct way? I mean,
Yeah. No, I agree. And we got our two guests on here too. We got the Dallas Cowboy fan, Belinda, and Raiders fan, Collins. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up?
I,
hey,
I appreciate you all coming back to my earlier nostalgia days of NFL football.
Real football. They don't make them like that no more.
When you brought up the conditioning of the coaches and the coaching staff, it's a lot going on when you fire a coach and his staff has to go. When you see a team that clean house, they ready to make some moves and come up today. I'm gonna throw this out there for all the listeners and you too. Do you all see or have you seen the pattern of the percentage of high school and maybe freshmen and just tapping into the sophomore college years of them becoming professional football players, making the team,
Yeah. Yeah.
speeding up the game. Basically, that's where I'm going. Is speeding up the game, the rule changes of the game have changed to accommodate the youthful players. And you're late coming in, but wherever you all were, I appreciate you coming back into the yesterdays of football.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is, and I definitely want to get y'all take on it too. Is reports that are surfacing. It's two different reports, so by two different teams. So one report is that has surfaced is Mike Tomlin is thinking about taking a year or two off and doing TV and then getting back into coaching. Um, that will
Doing
basically change.
hold up. Wait a
That
minute.
will
Did you
basically
say doing TV?
Yes, Mike Tomlin. It says right here that the Steelers, that no matter what happens, okay, that Mike Tomlin could look at a reset with Pittsburgh roster potentially going through one season two, and then take a year or two in TV before returning to the sidelines. When well, I'm gonna give you my take on that, and then I'm gonna hold my take on that, and I'm getting ready to get into the next story, which is also the fact of everybody knows Washington has gotten rid of their D coordinator. Now it seems Cliff Kingsbury may be on the hot seat no matter what. If he get a head coaching job, or even if he doesn't, they're looking at changing coordinators on that too.
what's that? Let me see the address.
So my thing on the Mike Tomlin one is I think Mike Tomlin not only wants to do a reset to get for TV, but I think what Mike Tomlin wants to do is
Which one?
get
Where
a
you at?
better look at how everything is going
Let me
in
back up.
TV. Just like I'm gonna say, what's his name?
Hardball.
Tony Romo. The way that Tony Romo be calling the games and he be like, oh, that when you're on the sideline, when you're looking at it from the TV or the analyst
That's a
perspective,
good one.
you learn better. So, and I think a lot of coaches now is going to be doing that, and they're going to be learning what their mistake is and catching up with the game, and not, as you say, Collins, going back to the old school style of football.
Well, it's not so much the old style, Mike. It's just that the fundamentals of the game has changed to make the game not so much predictable, but everybody wants to get an edge. And if you recall, last season when Tomlin, they were playing, I think, I don't know if it was the first game or one of the games with Baltimore, the game with Cleveland, maybe. It was the discussion of whether he would coach next year because they needed to get some players in there, key positions. Didn't have a quarterback per se because they didn't have the faith they thought they had, or Justin Fields wasn't fitting it. Then they brought up about the business side outside of football with his wife and the company that they had. So I say, okay, the handwriting was on the wall. Just when do they want to pull it? So now they've made a decision to pull it. And if you look at the commentators that are on the game calling, they've switched over to the former players a good many years ago.
Hmm.
And then you have, you just have a change coming about. Now, this 2-year package, I'm kind of leery of that because I heard something Troy Aikman said last Monday night, and whether how he said he would love to play for the San Francisco coach
Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Shanahan, and he said Shanahan is a no disciplined male. So I said, wait a minute, where are you going with this? So when I heard him say that, he said he's willing to play, but he likes being in the booth. So you look at the wear and tear on players and coaches of travel in the sport. If you can take off, get your some financing together, get your health together, and just take a break. Because if you think back, Dick Vermeil, oh man, what was the quarterback for the Rams back then?
Warner.
Warner,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think of the other coach that went out and came back. He didn't get a championship, but he had a good season. So I can see that happening with Tomlin. And if he chooses to come back, they already told you he could get a job. See, it's about money now. Y'all want me? You got to pay for me.
Yeah, that's between him and Harbaugh. Either one can go on to um, TV. One of the
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Oh,
to me, I'm gonna tell you, they will be good if they do that. Either one of them. But I think a name that really needs to come out of TV and get back on the sideline, and me and Will has talked about this a lot. To me, Jason Garrett.
So a dungeon.
Jason, no,
Yeah.
Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett needs to get from the side, get from out of TV and back onto that sidelines because Jason Garrett, if you look at what he did in Dallas, he had a record of 74-23 in Dallas.
I think
Okay,
Jason
he took
Garrett he like the stress free life. He
that's what I'm
like
saying.
it.
You're
He
absolutely
like he, he like drinking on pina coladas.
right.
he like the Bloody Mary.
He don't want to have to deal with the personalities of the
No,
organization. And he stressed that
absolutely.
weeks ago. He stressed that. He said, no.
Yeah.
And see, when the talk was Rivers coming back, see, that piqued everybody's interest. Time off. You can come back. Look, LeBron stayed in shape. Um, you got a couple other elderly players of age that are holding their own. So it's all about conditioning and where do they go from there? Because it's about building ratings and open the door up for other opportunities for younger
Right.
men.
right,
So
right. But then if you go into to conditioning and like Will was talking about, you got to look at these strength and condition coaches and the way because it's a lot of injuries that has been like, where's all these injuries coming from? And a lot of it has to do with strength and conditioning. If you get a team like if you look at San Fran that was decimated last year, they was decimated because of their strength and their conditioning. But now if you look at them this year, heck, they're one game away from being a number one seed.
But you
well,
know what though?
it depends on your respect for your coaching staff. If these young guys that come out and they think they all that and they have a good play, it's just like if you watch
Right.
their body language after they make a play. They ready to run to the end of the end zone. They want to jump up and run 20 yards down from the
Waste of
tackle,
time.
waste of time and all of that.
Right.
Like they did something.
But that's your job. That's what I hired you for, to go out here, make a tackle, intercept the ball, sack the quarterback, make a big play. Don't be running all over the field.
Right.
You know, look at Can I switch sports for a quick second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at Michael Jordan's trainer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He, they were dogs in the gym. They were dogs. They
Yeah.
really got after they took their training seriously, because I don't think Mike missed a game in his missed too many games in his career.
He even
And,
played. He had the flu
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and won the game.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that
look
changed
at
everything on that play that year.
yeah. So I look at that type of coach, that type of chef and conditioning coach, somebody who's going to hold the players accountable, not just get paid. Just okay, he worked out. We did this, we did that. He should be fine, but then he's still getting hurt. And a lot of these strength and conditioning coaches are in it just to get paid. They ain't in it because they love the person or they care for the person's health. They're just in it to get money.
Yep.
That's why I'm opening up me a Planet Fitness and go work out and all that stuff. I just need the money.
And why not?
And then another thing that I got into before y'all came on is, you know,
Alfredo.
we got two good games today we got Carolina and Tampa at 4:30, and then we got Seattle. We got San Fran and Seattle at 8, which is two good games. I'm gonna tell you the one game that I'm really looking forward to. That's a surprise game to me is the Carolina Tampa game. And if you looked at the way that everybody was talking about Bryce Young and how they thought Bryce Young was going to be that bust, but Bryce Young is now making everybody eat crow because all the Panthers have to do is win and they clinch the division.
Either
Tampa,
one.
Tampa, or they need help. They need to win, and they got to have the Falcons at least lose a game. So my thing is, what have y'all seen with Carolina that made them do this big turnaround?
Well, let's go back to last season.
Okay.
Andy Dalton.
Right.
Andy Dalton, being the professional that he is, mentored Bryce Young,
Yeah.
helped him along,
Right.
and really sat down and taught him the game.
Right.
And because you don't have too many players who's willing to do that for a young player. You really don't. So Andy Dalton, that's the turnaround.
I agree. Yeah. Even though he's not there this year. But I think that and then the addition of the players that they brought on both the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I say, all they got Panthers can win or tie and they win the division. So, you know, and then I think the other one, which is huge to me, which a lot of people didn't see this one coming, is San Fran at Seattle. And Seattle can get the division and the number one seed with a win. All the 49ers have to do is just win, and they got it. So,
Well, I'll step in, Mike, and say this. The biggest surprise is the Carolina Tampa Bay game. If you look at the conference through the years, Seattle has been there. They've been the team that pretty much kind of looked at the season where they're going to come out second place or they'll win the division. The Rams had to go through there. All of them are pretty much even. San Francisco, after Kaepernick, they had to go through that period of readjusting what they wanted to do. Shannon had to get a grip on what type of coach he was going to be because he was just coming on board. So when you look at that division and those games, they're pretty much one of those three teams are always going to be there. You just count Arizona out every year, just like my Raiders.
They
But
got the number one pick.
I'm not even gonna go in that direction. Let me stay point. Carolina, see right now you got the league kind of really pumping up and getting on the Jaguar bandwagon. And
Yeah.
I got an issue down there in Florida, and I hate to take it
It's
like you
gonna
said,
turn around.
step out the sport, but it's about bringing economic development to Jacksonville area because Miami is just really they're kind of out the picture. They're just developing right now, and Tampa Bay is the higher echelon of Florida when it comes to certain sports. Brady's tradition
Mhm.
in his last 2 years, so they want to kind of make their team relevant, but they're still looking at Baker. I hate to say it this way, the white boy over the black over white. It's just there. So I'm pulling for Rice to show them up that he is that capable quarterback. And going back to your point, real about Dalton, you get a mature individual on your team that comes in that's about the business, and somebody in the office somewhere decides, you know what, let's do this. And you have that big team meeting, and you make a change. You put it down.
Yeah. Right.
Y'all finally got something right. I
Yeah,
agree.
you'll be right about your commanders. They ain't going nowhere.
Well, I know
Next
they're not. I
Rhythm
know
though.
they're not going nowhere. But me and Will just was talking about that, and my thing is they got to look at besides the fact if they let Cliff Kingsbury walk, which is probably going to be the case. With what you got on offense, if you don't
All right,
do
boss. Have a good one.
if you don't do what you did last year, because to me, I still didn't get the gist of, and Collins, you know this, that and Belinda, y'all know this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
Right. And my thing is, you got a team that went to the NFC Championship game last year. Okay. You have over $100 million of cap space, but you couldn't bring back the players that was the actual role players that help you. De'Ami Brown, Zacchaeus, Dante Fowler, Colin Farrell. You let a lot of the people from last year walk instead of just saying, "Hey, we're going to keep y'all, but we're going to add Debo. We're going to add Larry Tunsil. We're going to add," which was a big bust to me, Marshawn Lattimore. So that
Wait, wait, whoa, stop, 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 stop. Just
that
stop.
that
Just stop. You
it
are
wasn't
the
just
you
signing.
but you the one that said Marshall Lattimore can shut down this side of the field.
Yeah,
He could it.
yeah. Until that groin injury got to him, and he ain't
But
been the same since.
I fault your GM because he's always been injury prone since he was in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Always. I
yeah.
told you about I told you about him. I told you about Debo Samuel. He has missed games. I told you about them two players,
Debo only missed one game, and that game he didn't even want to miss, and that was because he had a sore Achilles. He only missed one game being with us.
but he's been, well, I'm saying in San Fran, he's been injured because of how he's been used.
Yeah,
And,
but as we say, it goes on strength and conditioning. That's the thing.
well,
I disagree with what you're saying, Mike, and I'm gonna say it in this fashion. You had a new owner, you got a new team. Y'all had they clean house after Snyder. General manager, what I got to do? I'm just starting up a new business. I got to get these fans back in these seats. I got to sell tickets. Give me some players that will draw, that will get my fans interested in buying season tickets, buying these other tickets to come to the game. You got Debo because everybody knew what he was doing in San Francisco. You didn't look at the injury part. You,
mm-mm.
you just wanted to get certain players in there. The guys that you spoke of that they should have renewed their contracts, they made space financially. Those were financial moves because those names didn't bring people in the seats. The owners banked on JD because he started out
Good.
good. but he was not going to be your longevity player.
He's tiny.
And it caught everybody off guard because he had that injury, which reflected back to Robert Griffin.
Oh yeah.
So when you lose a player that's bringing people in and you don't have plans to go down the road to keep that established, you're going to falter and you got to redo the house and give other guys maybe opportunity because they probably button heads in the office, in the locker room. So the best thing to do, hey, I'm gonna give you an opportunity like Belichick did. Y'all go ahead and go out there and see what you can do. And the league will make that away. So that's another aspect of how your season has gone, how my Raiders organization, we just can't get it together because the father, the son cannot run an organization. He can't run the team. He's too
I can
busy
tell
working
you,
stuff outside.
I think
I,
that's why he went and got Brady. And I think
I
with
can I can
Tom
tell you where
Brady,
they went wrong at. I know where the Raiders went wrong at.
Where?
where
I'm listening.
That's an easy. That's an easy thought. Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
That's easy. If they brought in somebody outside of Chip Kelly, who was kind of bringing that offense he had at Oregon, and they just got a better. Can I be okay? Chip Kelly. He's not he's just a coach. He's not an OC. He's not.
No, he's see the college coaches, they can relate to these college players. If y'all remember go back about 10 years, maybe 12, when they start drafting these players and they say, well, this coach, I really like to have him here. And that's why I don't care too much for Devontae Adams because they spoke of certain coaches that come into the league and try to get on that team or work a trade out down the line. And then when you have your best buddy as your receiver, as your lineman, you want to keep that nucleus together. But what the league do, they spread them out. That's why all the colleges are so different. That's why I brought up to you all, pay attention what the Colts have done. They have a all white offensive line. And I'm not going into the race thing, but the brothers are much more durable during the season in the
Yeah.
cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
They will play harder, and I can't say it like that, but the white boys and that they just play hard when it's cold and
They used to cold
yeah.
weather.
So what going flipping this back? What you see in the Carolina Tampa Bay division is what used to be in the Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota. That division was they called the black and blue. Nobody could win no more than 8 or 9
Yes.
games.
How you doing?
So it's always been that kind of way with the coaching staff and the players. It's just about making money. Okay, we ready to flip the script now.
right.
Move on.
All right. I agree. All right, let's get into the Sunday games. Where you got Jacksonville versus Tennessee. To me, that's going to be a pride game for Tennessee. You got Denver versus the Chargers. You got the Patriots at Miami. You got Houston with the Colts. You got Buffalo against the Jets. You got Green Bay and Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I want to jump on before I get into the other ones is this
For
Baltimore Ravens
yes.
versus the
I'm
Pittsburgh
sorry.
Steelers.
Yeah. I can't take. I mean, I went.
So,
Somebody making a bet.
so to me,
Hey,
the
Mike,
Pittsburgh game, yeah.
I'm
let me
sorry.
let me talk to Will get this thing straightened out. Hey, I noticed something. I noticed something in the games, the total number of games. We're in week 18, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but
This is the last game of the regular season.
okay, but listen where I'm going because it hit me and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to go back in my head and think about this. We're in week 18. Everybody has played 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
No, everybody plays 17 games.
17. Oh, yeah. It's 18. This is 18, so
I
that
know.
means
I
17
see
games.
16 games played among
No,
all.
you're right. It's 16 games. It's 16 because it's only 17 games.
that they've
ahead.
played.
Yeah.
That they've
Right.
played.
How you doing, man?
This is
Right.
the last week game of the season
Season, yeah.
before the playoffs.
Wild card.
Yes.
So why isn't this the 19th season? I mean, the 19th year.
No, no, you're right. This is week 18. Okay, that's coming up. It's 17. It's 17 games that they're playing. This today and Sunday is the 17th and final game for everybody.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
got 18 weeks of football, so you're missing a week. The bye
No.
week is over.
Right. You count the bye week as a week. So if you count the bye week that's included in that week, it's 18 weeks.
18, yeah.
They
include the bye week on everybody's schedule. They have to.
Okay, that's why I'm not a millionaire. Thank you.
Right. But yeah, so
well, I don't like bye weeks anyway. I don't think no team get a bye week.
Well,
no, I did not either. No, I did not.
well, I'm gonna give you my take on that. Okay. I like the bye week. I just don't like the way that they're doing the bye weeks. Okay. To me, if you got a team that's playing on a Thursday night, okay, that Thursday night, they get what they call a mini bye. They get 10 days off. So my thing is this: if you play 1, 2, maybe 3 Thursday night games, you should not get a bye week at all because you're getting your bye week on that Thursday night game.
Right.
Right. After that Thursday night game, you're off for 10 days.
That's a question. You hear me right?
Yeah. What's up?
Would you think they should move to Friday night, say Thursday night?
No.
No.
The reason why you can't do that is in the league, Tuesday is a mandatory day off in the league. Okay? So if you move it to Friday, that means that they're going to be off Saturday, Sunday, but then they got to practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday. Like that. So
Friday is the travel day, Mike. Friday is the travel day.
Right. Plus Friday is the travel day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why you can't do that. Nah, that's too much football right there.
It was just a thought. Yeah. Just a thought.
Yeah, nah.
And another thing, if everybody is focused on it, is the season. Well, if you start in the day after Labor Day or that Labor Day week, I put it like that, and you want to add another couple of more teams or you want to add more games, it pushes you into midwinter. But then it's too cold to go across country in some places. So then do you move the games into the second week of August? Do you cut out the expedition games is what they're kind of talking about? Then you got to deal with the heat across the country. So there's a reason. It's a reason why they've done it, but now they're talking the revenue for the games is expanding because they're looking in the season.
Right.
But you got to think about travel.
Well, that's the thing too about the international games. It's the same. To me, I say this: preseason should only be 2 games. That's it. Preseason should only be 2 games. One for the vets and one for the rookies. That's it. And then jump into the season.
Because you already know who you draft, and you've already drafted. You know what your veterans can do, and anybody that's injured or needs surgery, you get that surgery then or when the season is over.
Right.
You got time to rehab. Don't be waiting to start and then I got to have surgery.
Now the 2 games I want to get into, like I said earlier. The one I could wait on, which is the Buffalo game, because that's going to be their last game at that Highmark Stadium. They open their new stadium next year. But the one I want to get into is the Steelers and the Ravens.
Yes.
That game to me is going to be it's going to be a close game. Given the fact it's a winner take all game, but again, I'm gonna say it like I've been saying it to you, Will. If Harbaugh don't mess up, y'all got a chance to win. He has to get out of his way, and he can't do that.
Mm. There was something about Lamar being upset that everybody's blaming him for the season for how it went.
I've read that, I've seen that, and everybody know that's a crock of crap. But again,
Yeah.
and like I said before, if Harbaugh gets out of his way, y'all will win.
Yeah.
But we know, and Harbaugh ain't gonna get out his way.
That's true.
Because he's going to make a
Yeah.
bonehead call that, and I told you this before, and he's famous for this. He will make a bonehead call to blow the game.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to make a bonehead call that's going to blow the game. I told you that in one other game, and guess what? He did it, and you said, Mike, you was right. He is in the way, and he has to learn to set his ego aside and realize it ain't me, it's everybody.
But I
And that's
told you also that we was gonna play for the division.
yeah. If Harbaugh don't mess up, y'all can win the division and be one and done. But again, if Harbaugh messes up, which I got him doing, y'all gonna be on that Cancun boat.
And I told you I don't mind them being on Cancun boat. I mean, I don't mind because it's needed.
Yeah,
It's needed.
yeah, it is because of the fact to me, he's been in Baltimore long enough. He should have been gone.
But here's the challenge factor. Everybody was in fear of their job against Green Bay, right?
Right. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Well, hold on, no. Hold on. Let me hear my point. Hear my point.
Okay.
They were all in fear of their jobs in the Green Bay game. What did they do? But they have not been doing all season long.
They ran the ball.
Exactly. They ran the ball because they knew if that they lost that game, this game would not mean 5 cents.
Mm.
And that at the end of the game, whether they win or lose, everybody's losing their job.
Yeah.
So that game was a make or break all.
The only reason why I can't agree.
That's a true fact. And it's just like Mike, I've shared with you, is when JD got hurt, JD5, as you call him, the game with the Cowboys was going to be irrelevant. And it has turned out to be that way because y'all went into a tailspin of losing. So therefore, what is the next game that's going to bring revenue? I'm coming back to that point. Pittsburgh, Baltimore for the
No.
AFC. Pittsburgh, Baltimore for the AFC, but also TV ratings. You got
No,
to take a picture. Take a picture.
Right.
no. You want to take a picture?
If you look at the commentators, they kept talking about Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh jobs. You didn't hear that with any other coaches in the
No.
NFC or NFC, but those
No.
two.
But you was talking about ratings and everything else, right? And what shocked me was this, okay? And I'm still trying to figure out what they're drinking at NFL headquarters, okay?
What do you mean?
You give Washington. I'm thinking our game against the Eagles was going to be a 1:00 game. You give them their 9th national televised game at 4:25. That right there tells me a lot about the league and what the league is trying to do.
That's the NFC champs. You got to show them.
No, not if you're playing. The Eagles aren't playing for anything. They're already in. They won the division. They're in.
They're the champ. That's the whole.
They're resting their starters. It's no need for us to be at 4:25. Put us at 1:00 and get the day over with.
I'm sorry you're such a sore loser for your Commanders, man. Would you agree?
It ain't a sore loser. It's the thing of you got people in the way.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in here real quick. Let me tell you what I see. What they said. Here's the storyline, Mike, and I want you to hear this storyline loud and clear, brother. What they're saying is we wanted to put y'all at a 4-slot game against the Eagles' second string starters to show you how bad y'all really are and how y'all can still they can still beat you with that second string in. So we just gonna put y'all on display just for the heck of it.
Can you accept that, Mike?
No, because they ain't do that. They should have just kept us at 1 o'clock, got the game over with, and then went from there. You gave them a
No, they're not gonna
standalone.
do that.
You gave them a standalone game at 4:25 for what? 1 o'clock.
Well,
What time did you eat dinner, Mike? What time did you eat dinner?
What time do I eat?
Yeah, just a
Around
little time frame.
around 3:30, 4 o'clock. My game would have been over with. I would have just sat down and watched the rest of the games.
so
Four
I'm
o'clock.
Go ahead, Will.
I'm hearing a man in agonizing pain right now who is just distraught over this game, who felt like, please take me out of my misery. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Please help
yeah.
me. Yes,
What?
this get over
No,
with. This get over
I'm trying
with.
to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what was the point of it. It's no, we're out of
there,
it. We're done.
there is there,
That's
there is no
unacceptable.
point.
Right. That's what I'm
There
saying.
was no
So they
point.
could have gave
But the
they
point
could have gave that
there was
spot to me. To
You made
me,
a big issue all summer long about your commander, your one key
yeah,
player.
but they're out. The thing is, if you're out of it, is no need to put them in the slot that could have went to another team, that could have went to Denver and well that is going well Denver didn't play then. That could have went to not Kansas City and the
We on the
Raiders.
East Coast. We on the East Coast. Got nothing to do
Right.
with the West Coast. They got their own situation out there. Stay
That
on the
that
East Coast.
that could
I
have
want
went
my East
to
Coast people to watch the game.
that could have went to well San Fran is at 8. Oh wow. Yeah, that could have went to nobody because I'm looking at the schedule right now and really ain't no games really meaning anything in week 18.
that's so. I mean, when you think, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why.
So
That's why.
yeah,
I'm glad you found the answer.
yeah. But like I said, the Steelers Ravens game, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a low scoring game, but it's gonna be a good game, especially in Pittsburgh.
You
It's
know
a
what?
typical Steeler Ravens game.
I
That's
don't think
one
it's
thing
gonna be
that
as close as we think.
say it again, Will.
I don't think it's gonna be as close as we think it's gonna be
Why you say that?
So
because who the Steelers just play? The Browns.
The Browns.
If that boy Junkin, Junkin, number 10 for the
Uh
Brown,
huh.
if he don't get hurt, he's having a career day against the Steelers. If he don't get hurt, he's having a career day. He had 73 yards. Of 70, just let that sink in. 73 yards. If he don't get hurt, he's having a career game.
Okay, what does that have to do with the fact of saying? Well, you got to realize they didn't have J.J. Watt out there. They
It
didn't
doesn't
have a
even
couple.
that
with J, even, I'm,
If they had J.J. Watt and a
I'm
couple other,
sorry. Even with JJ Watt, it doesn't matter. The other running
yes, it
back,
does.
JJ Watt was it does not. Because when JJ Watt was in 4 weeks ago, Wichita ran for 241 yards against the Steelers.
I mean, T.J. Watt.
With T, with T,
No, if
with TJ Watt,
yeah, well, they was also missing their interior defensive
it,
tackle. They've been missing him for a while.
man,
but still, that
if you
even
keep believing
Okay,
if you keep
but
believing
but their
player,
their interior defensive tackle will be back. A lot of their players on defense that was hurt is back for this
you
game.
know what? It's next man up. You get
that's
paid.
because they They've rested. They got their injuries taken care of, or they took another week to get themselves together. Everybody forgets this is supposed to be a team sport.
Yes.
A team, not just one guy. But the league have everybody focused on one guy that makes a team. No, Watts was out. The other guy supposed to be able to come in and step up.
Yes.
And he played mediocre. He might have been pissed that he had to play. He wasn't really, man, I got to get in playing mode. You know how you are to certain days. You just don't feel like going to work.
Absolutely.
Or you'll go to work, but you'll just perpetrate like you're working all
Like,
day. Or you taking a week off, I don't feel like doing too much. That's how you have to look at these players.
you know what? My buddy, who's a former Raven, he said something to me that was very interesting. He said to me, he never wanted to be a star, right? All he
Right.
was worried about was getting paid and taking care of his mama. That's all he was worried about.
Motion detected in the
S-
front yard.
And guess what?
it-
He still ain't the star because I don't
Right,
know.
exactly the point. So the players that's on the bench have that same attitude. I ain't here to play. I'm just here to get paid. I ain't trying to be a star. So I ain't trying to come out here and put my body on line. I'm tired of it. I've been doing it for the last, umpteen years. So give me my money, let me sit, and just let me chill. I don't want to play.
And
Right.
especially if you got endorsements that are covering some of your expenses, you really don't
Yeah,
care.
pretty much. So yeah. So but it's next man up though. So I'm gonna say this, even with us, when we had our injuries, it was next man up. Next man was,
Hey, that's through the league. That's everywhere. That's through the whole league. But then, like you say, you got some that wants to play, and you got some that don't want to play. So it is what it is.
but
But
the game's not gonna be close. So even with everybody back in the lineup, everybody gonna have some extra motivation. Baltimore is gonna feed the ball to Derrick Henry multiple times. They're gonna feed him.
Yeah.
And they're gonna feed him. And one thing that's very obvious.
that's what's going to happen.
One thing is obvious. Cam Hayward cannot hold up. The man was sucking for air the other day. He was sucking for air. Please give me a.
But guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going
What?
to happen? They're going to keep feeding Henry the ball. And he's going to do just what he did in that Buffalo game. Fumble.
But you know what? He has extra
Fumble.
He has extra motivation to prove that we ain't gonna play these.
Fumble.
Hey, let me say this right quick. Will, I'm gonna speak on your behalf with your right.
Uh-huh.
Remember when Ray Rice went out because they didn't really want to pay him, and then they used that incident to walk him out the door.
Absolutely.
So they had to get another bona fide running back. Every team has a key player that helps that team shine, that they follow behind. Henry was brought there because they saw something in him and they could pay him more of what they want and let him out of Tennessee. He comes to Baltimore and he showed off.
Mm-hmm.
They went away from that because the sponsorship and everybody wanted to have more rights to Lamar. They wanted to give Lamar more exposure. So you've gotten away from what you really wanted to do to make you a championship team. That's what you get away from being a team. What you saw in the Ravens the last 2 weeks is what they should have been doing for the last 5.
Yep.
Because he can't be stopped. He's like a healthier Jim Brown in our day and time.
Well, they did. The thing is this, and Will, you got to realize one thing that's going to change.
What's that?
You got to realize one, and I done told you this. This is Derrick Henry. Y'all really didn't need Derrick Henry.
I get that point.
What's going to change is last week y'all didn't have Lamar behind center.
Yeah.
And now with Lamar behind center, Derrick Henry ain't gonna run the ball like he ran the
That's
ball.
a lie. That's a lie. I have to refute that. I'm gonna say this.
Tell me this year, how many 200+ yard games Derrick Henry done had with Lamar in the lineup?
No, one.
Come back to your offensive coordinator and your coach on the game plan for each week. And like I'm
The
trying to tell you, Mike, the focus was on Lamar. If you listen, is Lamar coming back? What is his injury? But the formula, because Huntley can still run the same offense that Lamar was running. He's just a little shorter. He might not have the flamboyancy that Lamar had, but the offense functioned. And they
I
stuck with the
know.
running game because they knew what they needed to do.
do you
Now,
know why?
go back to a head clashing moment for this game because you want the people to tune in. But if they run Henry like they should, 2 to 3 times out of the offensive play, they're gonna wear down
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Forget about Eddie
Do you
Watts.
know? Do you know why they're not going to do that?
Oh gosh. Why?
They don't win.
Huh? No, they're not going to do
Well,
that.
televised.
No, they're not going to do that because of the fact Lamar. This is why they put Derrick Henry every time in the fourth quarter. Lamar, go win this game. Lamar, go win this game. Lamar, go win this game. As long as Lamar is
That's
out
what I
there,
just said, Mike.
Derrick
That's what I
Henry,
said.
right?
They
Derrick
want
Henry,
Lamar shining.
Derrick Henry will not be out there in the fourth
And
quarter of
this
this
is
game.
why this is why
This is why I said Harbaugh is going to get in his own way.
this is why they lost to Buffalo. They lost to Kansas City. This is why they lost the games to these teams because of the simple fact that they did not run Derrick Henry, and it's a
Right.
right. It's a yeah. So Pittsburgh is not going to be no different. They
Yes, it
they
is.
might look tomorrow. The game is
Listen,
tomorrow.
Lamar, show me this whole year. One game, okay, besides that Green Bay game, and matter of fact, Lamar wasn't even inside that Green Bay game, that Derrick Henry played the whole
You
entire
know what?
game. That he played into the fourth quarter. That he was out there in the fourth quarter.
Hello.
Dude,
That's by
Stevie
design.
Wonder.
That's by design.
Let me say.
Stevie Wonder is behind. And Stevie Wonder can see that.
Let me say this to you. Last night, I bowled a sub last night on the league last night, right? So my games were 172, a 150, a 157, and a 258, right? And for the first two games, I could not understand why can't my shots go the way I want them to go. Why, I'm throwing the ball correctly, but I'm just not doing the same things that I know I can do. And some said, newsflash, just tuck your arm and just keep and throw the ball. And everything will work in your favor. Oh, the light bulb went off in my head and said, I got this. I threw that 258. I felt really good about it. So Baltimore is having the same aha moment. The light bulb's going off in their head. They say, you know what? Let's get back to that same daggone formula that we had that made us so unstoppable. So yes, we're going to play. We're going to play to our strength. We're going to play to what we know how to do. Okay. You didn't listen to me before.
Don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed when Harbaugh, and I'm not saying the offensive coordinator, when Harbaugh pulls Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter. Don't be disappointed when they stop running the ball in the fourth quarter.
You know what?
Because Harbaugh is going to do that.
You know,
Harbaugh is going to do that. Listen to me, and you know this. Every time I say Harbaugh makes a wrong decision, he does.
Hey, Mike, I think you missed what Collins and I was saying. They doing the things that they were supposed to do in the first 5 weeks of the season, which was run the ball. Here it is. When they ran the ball and passed the ball, but they ran the ball successfully, it's because Lamar was able to pass the ball. So put them two together, it's unstoppable, man. You can't stop that.
Question. And that's why they've been pulling him. That's why they've been pulling Derrick Henry, because it's supposed to be unstoppable. Come on, man.
But when
Lamar Jackson makes $52 million. Okay, he's getting ready to make $75 million. Okay, are you
bring
you want
money.
to
You
put the
can't bring.
ball?
You can't bring.
You want to put the
If,
ball in your $52 million quarterback
it
hand
might.
or in your $12 million
It
running back
might.
hand?
Might. It's a team game, brother. It's a team game. So
Okay.
so it's a,
You wear
it's
glasses,
just
right?
like it's just like LeBron. Oh dang, where they going?
You you wear glasses, right? Hey,
Hey,
Will.
let me give you a coaching standpoint on this. Remember how Detroit couldn't be beat 2 years ago, and then they got rid of their was he the defensive coordinator? He's with the Jets now.
Right.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn.
Okay, Glenn had a package that they couldn't figure out how is this defense working the way it's working in offense. So when you get rid of a player or coach, it's a letdown because once again I'm gonna go back to the locker room. If you got a headstrong coach, headstrong owner,
Mhm.
and you got you brought this up a few weeks back, your alpha guys in the locker room, somebody's gonna have to bend. Money is going to always be the subject behind the issue. That's why I say once they start talking about guys' salaries, that's always been a problem within the locker room. Been there, dealt with it, know about it.
Mhm.
So you have to really look at how it affects
Mhm.
everybody.
All
This is a
right.
big game. That's why they put it for Sunday night. It's a big draw because you got your point, Mike, is hardball. The
Aaron
fans,
Rodgers' last game. It might be Aaron Rodgers' last game. It
It's
might
going to
not be.
be.
we ain't talking
That's true.
Rogers, he said he wasn't going to. He said he's probably pulling out. So then like you said, Mike. Well, does he want to go out a winner? Does
Right.
he want to go out respectable? Same thing with Tomlin. Harbaugh's
Right.
job might be safe. Period. So he's not worried. But what I'm getting at is when they talked to Glenn before the season was over, Detroit lost those two games badly because the decision was already made. He was going to the
Hmm.
Jets, and that was not supposed to leak out. But
Oh,
see, when
that's just like Ben Johnson. Everybody knew that Ben Johnson was going to that always leaks out the week of the Super Bowl or the week before the end of the season. That always leaks out. And that's what if you
it
go
never
back,
was, and I'm saying it never was like that. Everything had to take place after the season. So
Take it.
then
right.
you got stopped. You wanted to keep your team, whatever the momentum was, whatever the camaraderie you had. You did not want to mess it up in the locker room. That's
Yeah,
why
real,
Jerry Jones, when he steps out there and get all in the team, the coach's way, Dallas doesn't play well. See, it's
well,
always somebody disrupting the system.
real quick on that note, and then we're gonna go to the picks. If you look at it, when Atlanta went to the Super Bowl and they played New England, when Kyle Shanahan found out at halftime he was getting the 49ers job, that he got accepted, that he was actually getting. If you see how they played the second half, they played the second half because of the way that, hey, I'm not going to be here, so I'm good.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's my point, Mike. That's
They
all I'm trying to
also they
parallel.
they also, which a lot of people don't know, they have in the coaches' contracts that says if you or your team win and y'all take it to that, your team goes all the way, you have to play out the last remaining year of your contract. So in order for them not to do that, that's when Washington went in there and beat Detroit and said, "Hey, y'all good to go." Okay. The only reason why Kellen Moore got to leave was because Sirianni didn't want Kellen Moore no more in Philly.
Why is that?
Because he didn't look at Philly offense now and look at Philly offense when he was there.
They playing
Okay.
with the offense last year.
Kellen Moore, no, but if you notice, Philly was doing more running last year than they was this year. Nick Sirianni didn't want that. Sirianni wants what's his name?
Right.
AB and Smith to be that focal point and not Barkley. Okay?
Uh,
So he ran the ball. So that's why he pulled Saquon Barkley so that he won't get the record. He did that.
no,
Barkley didn't sound good.
No, Barkley said nah. Barkley declined to go back in the game to get the record.
Barkley,
Sirianni asked him, "Do you want to go for the record?" I
I would
And
have told him
I
just
heard
like this. Go out there, go get that
I
record, son.
heard that.
Barkley said he wanted to win. He said, "I'd rather win than have
Yes,
a record."
he said that clearly. So no,
Yeah,
it wasn't
well,
Sirianni's decision. No.
look how they playing. But I'm gonna get into the picks now for Saturday and Sunday
Mm-hmm.
games. Um, do y'all want to go first, or y'all want us to go first? How y'all want to do this?
You the host. Lead off, host.
All right. Well, I'm gonna lead off with Wills. So Will got the Packers, the Jaguars, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Raiders over the Chiefs. Hold on. He got the Packers over the Vikings. He got the Jaguars over the Titans. He got the Cowboys over the Giants. He got the Rams over the Cardinals. He got the Raiders over the Chiefs. He got the Eagles over the Commanders. He got the Patriots over the Dolphins. He got the Bills. He got the Bears over the Lions. He got the Chargers over the Broncos. He got the Bills over the Jets, and he got the Ravens over the Steelers. I got Carolina over Tampa. I got Seattle over San Fran. I got Atlanta over New Orleans. I got Cincinnati over Cleveland. I got Houston over the Colts. I got Jacksonville over Tennessee. I got Green Bay over Minnesota. Unfortunately, I got to twist my lips to say this. I got the Cowboys over the Giants. That hurts. That really hurts.
Yeah.
Hey, Belinda, did Mike see that meme that I sent him?
Did he say
Did
what?
Mike see that
Nah,
text?
you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that meme.
I sent it to
You
you.
gotta send it to me again.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can send it to her. I got Buffalo over the Jets. I got Detroit over Chicago. I got
You don't let you.
Denver over the Chargers. I got the Rams over the Cardinals. I got the Chargers over the Cardinals. And I'm with you, Will. I'm going with Las Vegas over Kansas City. Yeah, they gonna get their third win and possibly get out that number one number
Well,
one
if the
spot.
Giants lose, then they keep the number one spot.
Yeah, that's true too. Damn.
And Mendoza will be our number one pick.
Yeah, because Wisconsin likes him. Tom Brady likes him. I got New England over Miami. I got Washington over Philly because Philly is on resting their starters and they really ain't got nothing to play for. And I'm sorry to say it, but I got the bearded wonder, Superman, over the Ravens.
No.
The man got the beard back. I got the bearded wonder over the Ravens. Tom Brady and the Steelers is going to beat the Ravens, and it's
How
going
you
to be a
doing?
close game. I'm going to say 3-20.
Where you get Tom Brady?
Huh? I mean, not Tom Brady.
He
Not
going
Tom
towards
Brady. Aaron Rodgers.
Philadelphia.
I can't put them in the same class.
All right. All right. Who y'all got?
Okay, I got the Panthers
Okay.
over the Bucks, the 49ers, over the Seahawks. That
Sorry.
was a hard one to pick.
If I
Okay.
That's a hard one for me.
I
The
thought you was going to
Texans.
Fort Washington, D.C.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
And then I got the Bengals over the Browns,
Mute.
Falcons over the Saints, Vikings over the Packers, Jaguars over the Titans, and my Yeehaw boys, yeah. The Rams over the Cardinals, and I'm picking the Raiders just because Mahomes not there. The Eagles over the Commanders. I never picked the Commanders. Psych. The Patriots over the Dolphins. the Bears over the Lions, the Broncos over the Chargers, the Bills over the Jets, and I'm going with the Ravens. And I hope they win really big.
All right, go ahead, Carlos.
Well, I got Bryce and the Panthers upsetting Tampa Bay. I got the Seahawks outlasting the 49ers. And I'm definitely pulling for the Texans over the Colts. The Browns bingo game can go either way, but I'll give the home edge to the Bengals. Same as the Vikings over the Packers. Saints and Falcons because they at home also. I'm looking for an upset this weekend, so I'm going to pick the upset team, the Titans over the Jaguars. And I think the Jaguars will have a little letdown since the playoff. Rams over the Cardinals. And supporting the Cowboys over the Giants.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sticking with my Raiders, but they play each other very tight. You know, their competition is almost 500 apiece. So even though we may be losers, we could still pull it out. Patriots over the Dolphins. That's another pick 'em in a way. I'm pulling for the Bears over the Lions. And Broncos at home. Chargers might not play that well in the cold there. And the Bills over the Jets. And I'm going to lean toward the Steelers because I'm a big supporter of Tomlin as a coach. And that's how I see it.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't get all of your picks, Will. Mike.
Philly game. The Washington game was the only one you picking with the rest of their starters. Yeah, in that game.
You know, the one thing about when they rest starters, the guys that are going to get an opportunity to play.
who, me?
But I'm speaking of the starters, when they're out like that in the playoff game, the other players that step up, they want to make the team. They want to assure their chance of being looked at in the offseason and say, yeah, we can really use this guy. So you can't always look at that because the starters are out, because they want to, if I play hard, I'll get another shot maybe in Super Bowl or in another playoff game. And definitely be on the team next year. So have faith in your Commanders, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, have faith. Faith is everything. Faith is everything. I mean, and only reason why y'all had a down year this year, and like I said,
I'm going with Washington. So
no, Cliff Kingsbury.
The Commanders.
He picked the Cowboys.
No, he picked the Commanders.
Mike, who did you pick?
He picked the Commanders.
I thought I heard the Commanders over the Eagles from Mike. Correct or incorrect?
Yeah, that's who he picked. He picked the Commanders to win the game.
And he's supporting the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's supporting the Cowboys.
All right. See, you got me all wrapped up in your world of football.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, you know, my score prediction for tomorrow night game at 8:00
is
27-17.
Oh,
Baltimore.
BMO.
27-17.
You got 20.
Still just gonna be. Go ahead. 27-17.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get all your picks.
All right. I heard you.
You hear my picks?
Yeah, because Mike went through them so fast, I couldn't jot them down.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, Mike,
no, I
with my
said
picks, Mike?
he got
You got the Packers over the Vikings.
the Packers. Right. He got the Jaguars over the Cowboys. No, he got the Jaguars over the Titans. He got the Cowboys over the Giants. He got the Rams over the Cardinals. He got the Raiders over the Chiefs. He got the Dolphins. He got the Bears over the Lions, the Chargers over the Broncos, the Bills over the Jets, and the Ravens over the Steelers.
You got the Texans over the
The
Colts.
Texans, yes.
He got
You
he
know
got the
what,
Texans
Philip
over.
Rivers last one?
He got the Texans over.
And did you pick the 49ers over the Seahawks or vice versa?
I got the Seahawks over the 49ers.
Okay. And Panthers and Bucks. I didn't get that one.
I think I picked the Bucks. They have a
Yeah, you
stat when
didn't
it
pick.
comes to that game when, I didn't pick it.
No, go ahead. Yeah, them the
Okay.
only two games you
Okay,
didn't
I said
pick. You didn't pick the
You got the Bengals over the Browns.
yes.
taking Tampa Bay and you taking Seattle.
Right. Now they got a stat when it comes to the Carolina. When Carolina loses the toss, they're 0-6. When they win
Wow.
the toss, they're 6-0.
Okay. See how the little things play a part, Mike?
Oh well,
Follow the money.
we better hope they win the toss. But I want to say this in closing. Hey, we'll see. But I just want to say this in closing. Happy New Year again to everybody. This is the defining weekend of advantage, arrowheads, and nail biters. Enjoy the game, enjoy the chaos, and thanks for sharing the year with the Regular Guys podcast. Stay tuned for post-game reactions, playoff brackets, updates, and wild card previews. Once the dust settles, let's go week 18. And also, I want y'all to know that this is officially the last broadcast for the regular season.
Okay.
To the Super Bowl. So we want
All
y'all
right.
to enjoy and say goodbye to week 18 and say hello to the playoffs. And we will be doing our playoffs edition starting next week. Love y'all. Glad y'all here. And hey, I had a great year of football with y'all. Regular season.
Yes.
And my last words, everybody watch the blowout Sunday night at 8:00. Stay tuned.
We'll be watching.
That's right. Even though I picked the Steelers, but I'm hoping for a good game.
Yeah.
You gonna see a beatdown.
Watch the Steelers blow out the Ravens.
All right, everybody.
Watch the
Take care
Steelers blow
now.
out the Ravens. He's right. Hey, look. Hey, Will, you're right. Watch the Steelers blow out the Ravens.